Okay, so welcome back to the new section. In this section, we are going to learn about that how we can handle files or images in our Node.js. Okay, so we are going to build a basic project that will upload single file or multiple files that basically are images files. Okay, so the purpose of this project is just to learn that how we can handle and how we can upload files using Node.js. Okay, so this is the home page that says all images. Currently, we don't have an image here, so I'll go to /upload. And here you can see that I have two options, single upload and multiple uploads. To upload a single image, I use this option. To upload multiple images, I use this option. So I simply click on here, browse, and I have a folder images on my desktop that contains these images. So first of all, I select this first image and click on open and upload the image. You can see that image uploaded successfully here. If I go back and upload that image again and click on open, you can see that it is not uploaded. If I go to my terminal, you can see that duplicate image. Okay, and also we have a folder called public, in which we have folder called uploads, then images, in which we have our image stored, that is 1.jpg. Okay, so if I go back and now let's use this multiple uploads. If I click on that and now I select all the images, and now we know that the first image already exists in the database. Okay, so we don't have to upload that. So when I click on open by selecting all the 12 images and click on open and click on upload images. If I go back, you can see that if I reload that, I have all the images here, but I get one message here that says duplicate image for the first one, because the first image already existed in our database. So this is one and all 12 images are here. And when we go back to a Visual Studio Code, you can see that I have all my images right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so one is not again uploaded. We have applied all the checks in that. Okay, and if I go back to my Chrome browser and if I just upload a non-image file, for example, this employee.txt, open and click on upload, you will see an error message, please image error, please images only. Okay, now we have successfully uploaded all the images on our server. Now we also have to delete all these images. Basically, we are storing these images in a separate folder that contains upload/images, and we are storing all the links in a database. If I go to my Mongo terminal and I type here db.pictures.findAll, you can see that I have objects here that contains a single field, that is image URL. So we are saving our URL in our database and images are exactly placed in a separate folder. Okay, so when we press this delete button, not only the object is deleted for this file, and the image will also be deleted itself. If I click on delete from here, so that image is gone from here. If I go to my Visual Studio, you can see that 1.jpg is not present here. If I go to my Mongo terminal and again I type find, you can see that the 1.jpg is not in this list. Okay, so in this way the delete also work in this project like that. We can delete many images as we want. So this is the basic project that we're going to build in this section. The purpose is just to understand how we can handle files in Node.js by using Multer. Multer is basically an NPM package. Okay, so I hope that you will like that project. This is not a very complex, but the main idea is to learn about file uploads in Node.js. So I will see you in the next video in which we will start building this project. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So from this video we are going to build our dat image app. Okay, so first of all I have a folder with the name file uploads, and in this folder I am going to create that project. Okay, so the very first thing I have to do here is I first of all create a new file here with the name app.js, and in here first of all I have to, as usual, require the express. So require express, then const app equals to express. Now first of all I type here const path equals to require path, and also we have to store our image URL in the database. So I also import here Mongoose require Mongoose. Okay, and then after that I have to also import a package called multer. Okay, so multer is a package that will help us to upload the files like that. Okay, so if I go to my Google Chrome browser, you can see that here multer npm package. So you can see that from here, multer is a Node.js middleware for handling multi-part form data, which is used for uploading files. Okay, so this is the package that we're going to use to handle our files. So let's do that. First of all, I have to connect to my database. So I simply type here mongoose.connect, and I'm going to write everything in this file because this is a very small project, so I don't want to create more than one file. Okay, so I simply type here MongoDB. If you want to create separate files, definitely you can do that. And I type here localhost 27017. Then I type the database name. I type here images. Okay, you can type any name here. And after that I have to basically pass some parameters here. Use new URL parser to true. Then use unified topology to true. Then I have to type here use create index, and also I type here true. Okay, and after that I have to first of all create schema for our database. Okay, so simply type here let image schema equals to new mongoose dot schema, and in here I type here image URL, that would be string. We have only one variable in that is only, we only want to store the image. Okay, and after that we have to type here let picture equals to mongoose dot model, that is picture, and I simply type here image schema. Okay, so our database is done. Now let's write our middlewares first of all. So I type here app.set views directory. So I type here views, then path.join, type here directory name, and then I type here the views. And after that we have to use set the view engine. So view engine that always EJS, and then we have to also use the express.static, that is public directory, like that. Okay, and okay, so we have set up our middlewares here. Now we also have to delete the image. We know that, so for that I also import one more package here that is called const method. We know that there is no HTTP basically method in form that help us to delete, so that's why we are going to use here method override equals to, and type here required method override, like that. And also set up the middleware for that. I simply type here app.use, and I simply type here method override, and I type here underscore method, like that. Okay, so we have set up our middlewares. Now first of all let's listen on port 3000, and I simply type here console.log, and I type here server is started, like that. And now we have to create two views. First of all, the view contains the upload form, and second one will be the result form on which we have to display all our images. Okay, so first of all let's create here app.get -upload/upload, and then the callback request response, and then simply type here res dot render, and I simply type here the upload. Okay, simply I save that. Now I have to create a views directory here. First of all, new folder, views, and in this folder I'm going to create a new file with the name upload.ejs. okay, so I already have my markup ready in my Sublime. Simple. If I just copy it from here, Control C, and just go back to my Visual Studio and paste it right here. Okay, so first of all I have used this Bootstrap library here. Then I have a container that has width of 50. Okay, so this is the form for single file, and this is the form to enter to basically upload multiple files. Okay, so simple, I have age3 heading here with that has single upload, and then I have this div that use the custom file class of Bootstrap, and in this I have a form. Okay, now in this form, first of all I have used the class of form control Bootstrap class, then the action that will be /upload single, and make sure that you write here inc type to multi-part /form data. Okay, if you go back to our Chrome, you can see that middleware for handling multi-part /form data. Okay, so make sure that you enter here multi-part /form data. You don't have to miss that. And the method should be post, and in it I have a input that has name single image, type is file, and class is custom file input Bootstrap class. Then I have a label that says choose image, and then I have a submit button basically to upload the image. Okay, so the important part here is you must have to write this here multi-part form data, and also you have to give name to this input. And after that, in multiple uploads, again you have a form that goes to upload multiple. Then inc type should be multi-part /form data, method should be post, and after that make sure that you give name to your input field, that type should be file. Okay, and name like multiple images, and also make sure that you add a parameter here that is multiple, because this time we want to select multiple images, so that's why you have to type here multiple, and make sure that you don't type here multiple in single upload. Okay, so this is two simple, very simple HTML forms. I simply save that, and now if I just go to my terminal, new terminal, first of all let's install our packages. So I simply type here npm init-y to initialize my package.json file, and then simply I type here npm I express EJS, then multer, then path, then mongoose, then method override. Okay, so express EJS, multer, path, mongoose, method override, all these packages, and dash save and press enter. Okay, so all packages are installed successfully. Now let's create our second view, which is index.ejs. So I simply create a new file here that says index.ejs, and again I go back to my Sublime text, and I have my markup ready for this home page. I simply copy that and paste that in here. Okay, so simply first of all I have Bootstrap here, then I have h1 tag that says all images, then a container that has width of 75. I also remove this loop from here right now, and also this one, so that you don't get confused with that right now. And after that I have used a row Bootstrap class in which I have give 4 columns to each image. Okay, so in this I have a image tag that has style border. I have give each image border of 3 pixel solid gray. Then I have give height of 250 and width of 250 to each image, and here will be the image URL that I'm going to remove right now. Okay, so this is simple image tag, and then we have our form that will help us to delete that image. Okay, so let's go to /action/ this. I remove it also from here, and I will add that later. Okay, so simply delete button here. So simple form, nothing else, and I simply save that, go back to my app.js and create a route for that. I simply type here app.get. This is the home page, so / then a request response, and then we have our res.render, and I type here index, like that. Okay, and I simply save that and type node1 here to run my server. So server is started. I go back to my Chrome and go to localhost / you can see that all images here. Right now there is no image, so this means that our basically home page is working. And now I go to /upload, and here we go, we have our upload form ready. So see, single upload and multiple upload. Okay, so simple two forms, nothing complex in that. Now our views are ready to be used, and in our next video we are going to basically write the code that will help us to upload a single file in the database. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So let's start writing our code to upload image basically. So after all these routes here, I will start writing my code. So first of all, I have to set image storage, where I want to store the image. Okay, so first of all, I have to create here variable let storage equals to, and I type here multer. Now I am going to use my multer module, multer.disk storage. Okay, so this is the method in which you have to pass the destination and the file name or all stuff like that for storage. Okay, so simply a variable storage that will be equal to multer.storage, multer.disk storage, and in this method we're going to pass our object. Okay, so the first thing I have to pass here is a destination where I want to basically store my images. So that would be not only images, you can give path for any document that you want to upload. Okay, so in this case we are handling the images, so that's why I'm going to store my images in /public folder, and in public I have a folder called uploads, and in that folder I have folder called images. Okay, so in this images folder I want to upload my images. Okay, so that should be in public, uploads, and images. Okay, and after that I have to give the file name. Okay, so what should be the file name? I want to use the file name as it is, as the name in the computer. Okay, so I type here file name, that should be, I pass here a callback request, then the file, then callback, and then in this function first of all I type here callback, and I type here first of all null, then I have to pass here file dot original name. Okay, so I want to use the original name of the file. Okay, for example, the name of the file is like nodejs.png. Okay, so I don't have to change the name, I have to upload the file with that name, which is nodejs.png. Okay, first of all we have this variable called storage, and after that we have used this multer.disk storage method in which we have passed the first of all the destination, the path where we want to store our images, and then we have passed the file name. Okay, so in this case the file name will be the original name. Okay, so now if I just scroll down, and here I have to first of all set up the upload. Okay, so I simply type here let upload equals to multer, and in multer I simply pass here some values. First of all storage, that will be equal to this storage. Okay, so I want to store here, so storage will be this storage, and then I have to first of all let leave is as it is. Okay, I will configure out that later. Now first of all let's handle our post request, that will goes from here /single /upload single. Okay, so first of all let's handle this one. So simply at the bottom I type here app.post, and I type here the URL that is /upload single. Okay, and then I have to basically pass here request response and the next. Okay, so in this first of all I have to send the post request and save our image URL in the database. Okay, so first of all I have to pass here another parameter that will be upload, that is this one. So this upload, then I want to upload single image, so I simply type here upload dot single, because this time I want to upload only single image, upload dot single, and I pass here the name that is present in the form, which is this one, single image. Okay, so I copy it from here and paste it right here. Okay, so we pass basically type of middleware in this route that says that upload dot single this single image. I want to upload this single image, and after that in this, first of all I type here const file will be equal to request dot file that user will upload. So we request that file, and first of all we check that if not file means the file doesn't exist, then we have to return from here because we don't want to move on. So return and type and simply message, print a message that says that please select an image, like that. Okay, and if the file exists, then we have to handle it. First of all, if it exists, then we have to basically so before saving that, I want to also do one thing here, that I only allow the user to upload the image file, that is JPEG, JPG, PNG or GIF, GIF or GIF, whatever you want to pronounce. So I have to type a separate function that will handle that which type of files we want to upload. Okay, so for that, at the top of this route I create a method here, function that says that check file type. Okay, so we want to check the file type, and first of all we have to pass here the file and then the callback. Okay, and in this method, first of all I type here const file types that we want to support, and I type here in these two basically comments, I type here JPEG, or we have to allow the JPG, or we want to allow PNG, and at last we want to allow GIF. Okay, so this is type of a extensions or files that we want to allow. So simply type here file types, a variable that contains all these extensions, and in these two basically slashes you have to give the all basically extensions or the file types like JPEG, and this stands for OR. Okay, so JPEG, JPG, PNG, GIF, and then I have to check it. So first of all I create a variable here called extension name, so ext, and type a name. So this is extension name, and now I have to check all the extensions of these files. So simply type here file types, and this has a method called dot test. Okay, dot test. Okay, so you can see that this is regex expression. So I simply type here file types dot test. Now I have to test here path dot extension name, ext name, that will give us the extension name of that file. So path dot extension name of which file, of file dot original name. Okay, and we convert it to lowercase like that. Okay, so what happened here is, first of all we create a regex here that has four basically file extensions, JPEG, JPG, PNG, and GIF, and then we have this has a method called test. Of course we test that file types dot test and give the path dot extension. So extension name means that it will get the extension from that file, from which file, this file, which is the file dot original name, and we convert that to lowercase and pass to this extension name, and then this extension name method will find that what type of extension this file has. For example, this file has extension of .pdf, then this means that we don't allow to do that. But if the extension matches with any of these fours, then we have to allow the user to upload it. Okay, so in this case we get here true or false. So I'll simply type here if extension name, then we simply have to return callback, first of all null, and then we have to pass a true. Okay, but if it doesn't match, then what we have to do here, we have to simply pass in callback the error. So simply type here error that says please images only. Okay, like that. Okay, So this method will help us to find that which type of files we want to support or not. Okay, so in this case we only want to support images, we only want to upload images files. So I simply type here const file types, these 4 ones, then we match this file name with the file extension, and then we will basically decide that whether we have to upload or not. Okay, so now we have this function ready. Now in this upload, basically I have to here type file filter parameter, in which I type a function that has request file and a callback, and then here I type here check file type, this function, and in function I have to pass the file and callback. So I simply type here file and callback like that. Okay, so basically this helps us to basically filter our files, okay, images files. Okay, so now our storage is ready, our upload is ready, our this check file type is ready, and now we have to basically first of all, without saving any URL, let's print out the URL on the console. So I simply type here console.log, and I type here file.path. Now this file has a basically parameter that is called path, that will give us the path of that file where it is basically stored. Okay, so I simply save that, and I hope that it will work. So after printing that, we have to basically res.redirect to slash like that. Simply save that, and now if I go back to my Chrome browser and reload it, now let's select the file. Okay, so I have a folder on my desktop with the images. I have already downloaded the images from the internet. So in this folder I have all the images. So now let's select the image, this one.jpg. If I click on open and click on upload image, and you can go to here, you can see the path here, public/uploads/images/one.jpg. If I go to public directory, and in uploads and in images I have one.jpg right here. Okay, so our basically image has been stored in our basically folder. Okay, so now we have path here, and now we have to store this path in our database. Okay, so I simply remove that from here. First of all, I have to build the URL that I want to store. Okay, so first of all I type here let URL equals to file.path, and now we have to replace here, we have to replace public to nothing. Why I have to do that here? Because we have already set up here public here. So if we also specify, and we also basically add this public where it is, if we also add this public in the URL of the image, then it is not going to display our image on the basically browser. Okay, so we have to make sure that if we have type here public, this one, then we have to replace the then we have to remove this public from the URL. Okay, so I simply type here file.path, which is this one. Then I want to store only this part, uploads/images/one.jpg. we don't want to store this public. If you store this public, then you will not able to see your image in the browser, because we have already set up a middleware for public here. Okay, so I simply replace my public with nothing here, and then our URL is ready, and now we have to push this basically URL in our database so that we can use that later. Okay, so I simply type here. Now we have to also check that there should not be duplicate file with the same name. Okay, so I simply type here picture, which is our model. So picture.find1. First of all, you have to find a URL with this one, that is image URL should be this URL, and if I type here image, and I type here that if image exists, then we simply have to console.log message here that says duplicate image try again, like that. Okay, and then we have to quickly return from here, and we will go to back res.redirect to /upload. You can also use the flash messages instead, but this is a simple app, so that's why I'm not going to use the flash messages here. I'm simply going to use the console.logs. Okay, so if the file already exists, first of all, find that file with the URL. If that file exists, then we have to simply print a message that duplicate image, and then we simply return from here and redirect back to /upload. And if that file doesn't exist, this means that we have now saved this image in image URL in our database. So if this image doesn't exist, then we have to simply type here picture dot create, and we pass here image URL, that is URL, and dot then I type here console.log, and I type here image saved to DB, and after that I have to res.redirect to / to display that image. Okay, and after that we also have to type a catch for here, so I simply type here dot catch. If there is some error, then I simply type here return console.log. I type here error and concatenate that error here. Okay, so our basically this post function is now ready. So first of all, let's test it out. I save that and I go back to my Google Chrome and I go to /upload and upload an image. First of all, the same image, that is 1.jpg. If I click on that, click on open, click on upload, and if I go back to my Visual Studio Code, you can see that image saved to database. Okay, so you may got a question in your mind that we have already uploaded that image, so that why it gives the not give is the error that duplicate image, because when we previously run this application, then we don't have yet saved that image path in the database, so that's why. Okay, so now we have saved our image in the database, and now we have to display it on the home page here. Okay, so for that I simply go back to my Visual Studio Code, and in this route I first of all type here picture.find, and I find all the pictures, and I basically send those images. I simply cut it from here and paste it right here. Okay, and also we pass the images to this template so that we can print it out. Images should be these images. Okay, so simply save that and go to this index.ejs file, and here let's start a loop that we have removed. Okay, so first of all I type here images dot for each image. I type here img. We have to display this data. Okay, so I simply cut it from here, Control X, and then we have to paste it right under that. Okay, simply format the document, and then we have to display here the source, that would be img dot, and I have here which is this image URL. Simply copy that from here and paste it right here. Okay, so we display that image URL in the source, and also we type here that we have removed img dot this img URL. Okay, not URL, we have to type here ID because we want to delete or find by ID. Okay, so simply save that, and now if I go back to my Chrome and reload that, and here we go, we get our first image here. Okay, now let's upload second one, this one. Click on upload image, and here we go, we have uploaded our second image here. If I go back and reload or upload my image again, click on open, you can see that if I click on upload image, I am redirected back to /upload. If I go to my console, you can see that duplicate image, try again. Okay, so in this way we have applied the check that we don't want to store image which is duplicate. Okay, so now our single upload is working properly. In our next video, we are going to set up this multiple uploads. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back. So in our previous video, we have set up our single upload, and today in this video, we are going to set up this multiple uploads option. Okay, so simply I go back to my Visual Studio Code, and here I create my second post route for multiple basically images. Okay, so here I type app.post and I type here /upload multiple, and then a callback request response and with the next. Okay, so here you can see that we have passed here upload.single, because in this case we are uploading a single file, and now we have to upload multiple images. Okay, so for that I simply type here upload.array. Okay, so we have to now upload the array of images. So array, and in that I have to pass that name which we have used here, that is multiple images, for this input, for multiple input. Okay, so simply copy it from here, go back and paste it right here. So in this case we get the array of images. Okay, so after that, in this, first of all I again type here const files, because this time we don't have a file, we have files. Okay, so request dot files, and now first of all check if not files, then we again have to return and type here console.log, and I type here please select images, like that. And if this doesn't exist, then we have to print this message, but if the file exists, then we have to basically save the URLs in the database. Okay, so this time there are more than one images, definitely I have to use a loop here. So simply type here files dot for each file I have to save the data, like that. Okay, so again I have to find that if the image exists or not. So I simply type here picture dot find one, and I find with image URL, that would be I simply copy it from the top here. I simply copy that and paste it inside the loop. Okay, because every time we have to change the URL. Okay, and I type here URL. Okay, and if we find that, then we have to type here image and check first of all if image, this means that we don't have to allow the user to upload that. So simply type here return, I type here console.log, and I type here duplicate image. Okay, otherwise if it doesn't duplicate, then we have to save it inside database. So simply type here picture dot create, and I type here image URL, which will be this URL, and this time I don't want to use the cache, because we don't have to basically cache or do anything. We simply have to save that, and we cannot do that in this way because it returns a promise. So that's why I also have to use here await. Okay, also we have to make this function async, because we can only use await inside async function. Okay, so in this way we save our URL in the database of that user or image. Okay, also we have to type here dot catch. If there is some error, we simply type here return console.log and type here the error. Concatenate the error here, like that. Okay, so I hope that we have done here. And also after basically finishing this loop, I have to res dot redirect back to the home page, like that. Okay, so first of all, in this case we are uploading array of images, multiple images. Then we check that if the file doesn't exist, then we'll simply display message please select images. Otherwise we'll start a loop, and first of all we check that if that URL exists or not. If it exists, then I have to simply display a message that duplicate image. Otherwise we have to basically insert the basically image URL in the database. Okay, so this time I don't have, we know that this create method returns a promise, so I don't write catch here, and rather than I type here await. Okay, also I make this function async here like that. Okay, so now let's test it out. I simply save that, go back to my Chrome, reload it, simply click on this browse. Now select multiple images. So I simply select all the images from here and click on open and click on upload images. Okay, so if I go back, I simply go back and refresh it. I get my all images here. You can see that I get here all multiple images. I have uploaded successfully all the multiple images. Okay, and simply go back to here, click on again upload multiple, and if I select basically the all images again and click on open and click on upload multiple images, and if I reload that, you will see all images again. So it is not detecting the duplicate files in this case. So I simply go back to my Visual Studio Code and let me check that. First of all, we have to check the files, and then file.for each file I have to create this URL, and then we have to picture.find the image URL. So I think so this U is capital. Okay, so this U is capital here, so I have misspelled here in this multiple like this. Okay, so this is also a capital U. Okay, and before going back, I have to basically go to my Mongo terminal and I have to delete the complete data. So I simply type here use images, and I type here db.products.find, and I think so I have to check my data name first of all, that is images. So use images db dot, so not that's pictures, not products, pictures dot find. Okay, so I have all my images here. Now I want to delete all of them, so I simply type here pictures dot drop this collection like that. Okay, so now I have empty here. So now if I go back to my Chrome browser and reload that, there is no image here. If I go back, upload from this single one, the first one, open, upload the first image here. Okay, if I go back and upload that again, you will see it doesn't allow me to do that. If I go to the multiple uploads, before that I go to my here, you can see that duplicate image, try again. So I go back and now try this multiple uploads. I simply upload all here and click on open and upload images. If I go to here, you can see that I get a message duplicate image. Okay, so this doesn't allow me to do that, and all the other images are successfully added. You can see that this is the two images, 2.jpg. If I go to my Visual Studio, Mongo terminal, and find that again, you can see that I have only this one here. Okay, so for the first, if I go back, so for the first image, it gives me error that duplicate image and other 9 images are, and other 11 images are successfully uploaded. Okay, so if I go back and now let's try it again, I simply upload again all these images, click on open and upload multiple images, and if I reload that, you can see that I don't have the images there. But if I go to my terminal, you can see that I get here a duplicate image 12 times like that. Okay, So in this way, our single upload is working, our multiple upload is working. Now one thing is remaining, that we also have to basically, when we click on delete, we don't have to delete the URL from database, but also we have to actually delete the file, the JPEG file, the picture file from the files, from our images folder, okay? Definitely we don't want to only delete the URL, we also have to delete the picture itself, okay? So we will do that in our next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So in the previous videos, we have set up this basically images. We have set up this /upload, and in this we have two options. One is for single upload and one is for multiple uploads, and we have these properly working here. Okay, so now one option is meaning that whenever we click on this delete, we don't only have to delete the link or object from the MongoDB, but we also have to actually delete this image file. Okay. So for that, I simply go back to my Visual Studio, and now we have to use a method called unlink. Okay, so unlink is the method of file system. So for that, I simply type here const fs. We also have used this module first sections. I require the fs module here because this time we have to handle with the files, and definitely pictures are rolled to files. So I simply at the end I have to write a delete route. So type here app.delete, and the path should be delete / the ID of that object, and then we have to pass here request response. Okay, so first of all we have to search that object. So search query will be by ID, so ID should be in the parameters. So I type here request.params.id. okay, so we get that ID here. I also have to type here /. Okay, now first of all we have to find that in our database. If we find that, then first of all we have to delete the image, and if the image is deleted successfully, then we have to delete the object from the MongoDB. Okay, so I simply type here picture.find one, and find with this search query basically with the ID, and we find that, and after that we have to in the catch, and then we have to type here. Now I have to delete the file first of all. Okay, so for that, first of all I have searched that file by using the find one method, and now I have to use the unlink method. So to use that, I simply type here fs file system dot unlink. So unlink method helps us to delete the files, and in the unlink, first of all I have to pass the path of that file, then I have to pass a callback. Okay, so this method doesn't return any promise, so that's why we have to use callback here. So we have to give a path of that basically image that we want to delete. Okay, so first of all we have to type here directory name, because we have to give the complete path. So directory name will give us the path of current directory in which we are, and after that we know that we have saved the link without public. Okay, so for that we also have to concatenate here public / public, and then we also add here image dot image URL like that. Okay, so what happened here is the directory name will give us the current directory, and then we have to concatenate the public also, because we have removed this public and then we have saved the image URL. Okay, so in this case we also have to type here public, and then we concatenate the image.url. So this gives the complete path of that image, and if that is successful, then we have to basically remove that also from the database. Okay, so first of all I type here if error, then we simply return from here and type here console.log the error, because we have to return from here, we don't have to move on and delete our link from database. But if there is not any error, then we simply have to type here picture.delete one, and we have to delete with that search query, and if it is successful, then we simply type here image, and we will simply type here res.redirect to /. Okay, and then we also have to type here catch error, and I simply type here console.log the error like that. Okay, so I think so we are done. I simply save that. I'll just repeat it once again. First of all, we have this delete by ID, then we have this search query. We want to search that image with its ID, and first of all we find that image, and if we find that, then we have to use this unlink method to delete that file. And in this unlink method, first of all I have to type the path of that file that I want to delete. Okay, so we have to build that path. First of all the directory name, then the public, because we know that we have just replaced the public with nothing when we save the URL in the database. So that's why we also have to concatenate the slash public slash image.image URL, and this is basically the slash uploads slash images and slash the name of that file. And after deleting that, if we check that if there is some error, then we have to return from here. We don't have to move on and print that error, but if there is not any error, then we have to simply delete that also from the database. And in my index.ejs file, you can see that I have a form here that goes to slash delete slash that image ID, and method is delete and all stuff like that. Okay, so I simply save all the files. Now let's check it out. I go back to my Chrome browser and reload it. Now I want to delete this first image, so I simply, if I go back to my Mongo, first of all, you can see that if I type here, I have this one.jpg right now in my database. Okay, so I simply click on delete, and you can see that the image gone from here. If I go back to my Mongo and type here again, you can see that one.jpg is not right here. It is deleted successfully. And if I go back to my Visual Studio Code, you can see that in this images folder, I don't have one.jpg. The image is deleted successfully. Okay, so now let's delete this 12.jpg. Okay, so I go back to my Chrome browser, and at the end this is the 12.jpg. I simply click on delete from here, and that's it. We are done. If I go back, you can see that if I just you can see that we have actually deleted. If I go back, let me check that which image we had deleted. I have actually deleted 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have actually deleted the 11th one. Okay, so not the 12th, that was 11th one. Okay, so now let's delete this one, this one, this one, and if I go back, you can see that I have only 2 images here. And also in MongoDB, if I type here again, I have only 2 images right here. Okay, so our app is now properly working. You can see that we are handling our images. Images basically are files. So in this section we have learned that how we can use multer to save our images, and also we can store the link of that file in our database, and then we can also delete that files and the link from the database. Now there is another way of saving images. Most of the developers use this multer because this is the best way to store images. We create a separate file for images, we store that images in that folder, and basically give that link image to that specific user. Okay, but some developers also use some other thing that is called binary. They store the image in the MongoDB itself in the form of binary stream. Okay, that is another way, but I think so this is the better way using multer, so that's why I have shown you this proper way. First of all, how to upload images, how to save in database, how to save in specific folders, and how we can delete them from database as well as from the directory. Okay, so I hope that you understand what you have done in this project. So I just repeat it once again. This main code, first of all we have created a storage here. Okay, so we use the disk storage method in which we have passed 2 parameters. The first one is a destination where we want to store our images. So in this case this is public slash uploads slash images, and then we have to give the file name that should be the file.original name. Okay, so then we have to write a piece of code that will handles the upload. So we type here first of all storage, that will be equal to this storage that contains destination and the file name. Then we have to type here the file filter. We have to filter the files because we only allow the user to upload JPEG or PNG files or images files. Okay, so for that we created a separate function in which we type file and a callback. First of all we type here file types variable in which type the JPEG, JPG, PNG, and GIF, and then we have simply compared that here with its original file extension. And here we have applied the if-else condition to check that whether it is image or not. And after that, in this post request, we simply have, for the single image we have used the upload.single method, and for the multiple we have used the upload.array method. So I hope that you understand. Now one thing is remaining, that we don't have yet tested this filter. Okay, so simply go back to my Chrome browser, and I go back, reload that, go to /upload, and now select the image from here. For example, I go back and select some text file from here like this, new1.txt. If I click on open, you can see that if I click on upload image, you will get an error that please select image only. Okay, so in this way our filter is also working. So I hope that you understand. So I will see you in the next section.